Shells and Moshville Times, and I am here with the man behind Delain. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Um,
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. A quick rush through the door after my day job to make sure I got here on time. But it's not as far a journey as you, apparently. You just got back from the US. Right.
Yes, yeah. I had a family visit in Arizona. It's always lovely, but I don't like the jet lags.
Jet lag is, yeah, it's a killer. Been there a few times myself. So a bit of time off before the tour kicks in.
Well, there was this week in America, but now it's onto the job again and make sure that we have a really cool live show in April. So it's we're working. Work has started again.
Perfect. And how's it going? I mean, you've got some old friends back in the fold now.
Yes, no, it's going fantastic. I'm so much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it must be nice to go back to the beginning in a way
Yes,
with a couple of the guys.
yep, absolutely.
And does that influence the way that you've written this? Were the guys already on board when you were writing this or this new album?
Well,
Or
when it comes to the writing, it was kind of business as usual because I always write with my writing partner Gus, and we write Delain's music since day one, and that has not changed, and that has always been wonderful and a great outlet, you know. So yeah, it has been wonderful, and now indeed with new members, with our new singer, for example, it was a wonderful experience.
uh, Dana's voice is fantastic. So I've literally just been listening in the car on the way home to try and get my mind in focus for this interview. So yeah, you've scored a winner there, and from what I've
Awesome.
seen in various charts around Europe and the quick little look I've had as well, the album's going down quite well.
Yes, no, true. No, I'm really grateful. I feel a bit spoiled.
Well, it's actually it's like considering how long you've been around. If I had a quick look through how you're doing in the charts, and it's like you've had a proper resurgence and almost got even more popular over the last couple of albums.
Yeah, it's funny how that goes. It goes up back and forth, so to say, and it indeed feels like it's fresh, and that's also how it's received, and that's wonderful, of course.
Yeah, and do you think this album has got the current success it's having has anything to do with the fact that those people that love the original lineups of bands have got a few more members of the original lineup back, and maybe you've got a few of the old fan base that are really geeking out, for want of a better word, on the new stuff?
That's kind of difficult to say because at one end it's a pro, but on the other end it's a con because you have to, for other people, you have to prove yourself again, you know, and that was the challenge for me, that we would produce a record that people would definitely hear. Hey, this is Delain, and the sound is there, the typical Delain sound, and that has been my mission with this record.
I I had a quick listen to some of your older stuff as well. And to be fair, there is a sound. There is, it's recognizable. And I'm saying this as a bit of a confession here. I wasn't too au fait with your music until quite recently. And so I've been doing a little bit of a deep dive musically back into some of your stuff on my commutes backwards and forwards to work and stuff like that. And I think you may have converted me into a new fan. So you know,
Awesome.
I've got a few friends over there, and I've had to tell them off for not mentioning you to me. Um, it's one of those things. It's like you know I love my music, you know I love my metal. Why haven't you mentioned these guys to me before? And but so they will be getting suitably chastised when I get over there later in the year. In the UK, you're coming over to tour soon.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you mind reminding me about the dates that you've got over here, just so that when people are watching this,
Ooh, that's
where
a
to buy
good
tickets
one.
from?
I don't know the exact dates by mind, but I think it's the third week of April when we really start our European part, and we do Manchester first and then London. But which date it are exactly, I don't even
I'll
know.
tell
I
you what,
think
I will actually put that in the. I'll put that in a little box on the video when I put it up, so
awesome.
people can see that,
Awesome.
and like, yeah, I might even be cheeky and put a little ticket link in. You never know.
But I can tell you this. the UK has always been really important to us, and somehow we always had a special connection with the UK. And these two shows are only the starter. I think the UK deserves a dedicated tour. So we're actually already working on a dedicated UK and Ireland tour, where we can also do Wales and Scotland and Ireland and the south of England. But that's for later. We're gonna.
That's going to get a few people excited. There'll be a few people getting quite keen on that. A few of my colleagues are very, very into your music, very into your style of music as well. And I somehow was the one that managed to get the interview, so they're a bit jealous.
Awesome. Perfect. Good to hear.
But so what's it like now that you talk me back to a little while ago when you suddenly found yourself back to the beginning?
Ooh,
alone.
Very beginning or the beginning of
beginning
the
again. The beginning again when you've lost the rest of the band. It's just you again.
Yep.
Like?
Yeah, it was quite a tough time. It was a very sad conclusion of a long try of everybody involved to find a way to continue. But the first, my talk was with the three guys of the band, and our singer said, "Hey, if you cannot figure it out, then I'll rather focus on my own solo career as well." So it kind of all crumbled, and then COVID happened at the same time. Was like everything at the same time. But then I always kept in touch with former band members as well, with our drummer and guitar player. And so when we couldn't figure things out with the previous lineup, I had to think, okay, is this the end? Am I going to continue? If so, how am I going to continue? And to me, the most important thing was that there was enough Delain DNA present. Well, in the writing, that's not really a problem because I already write with the same person for a very long time. Gus, my co-writer, and also other people, in the production team, the mixing engineer, the orchestral arranger. And those people were all still there. Of course, Charlotte, our previous singer, that was terrible to have her leave. Those guys were on board again. And first, I thought the only way to continue is as a project with guests. But to my amazement, the former band member said, "Why not continue as a band?" And well, here we are. We searched for other people to complete the lineup, and that was the start of a fantastic ride actually. And we found a new singer and a new bass player. They both live in Italy, and here we are with a new record.
And with those guests being able to come on board, is that a fun way to do things, to be able to have people come on and add their little bit to your project?
Yes, because it adds some freshness, and also it always surprises, always. And working with Diana, our singer, has been well, I would say if I got a demo back, it was Christmas. It was amazing how that worked. So easy and so much fun. So I'm really, really happy, and I feel really blessed with how it all went, and I feel lucky. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's obviously, we can't take away the skill from that. But they're obviously, at the moment it's being lapped up by everybody. I've not seen it actually in the UK charts yet, but I'm sure that's due to happen. But the rest of the charts around Europe, like Germany, etc., and places like that, you're doing very, very well at the moment.
It's excellent, and no, that's going well. I have to admit, I don't really look at the charts that much myself because I'm just about the music and playing live. But it's of course very, very cool to have those chart entries, and everything helps. Of course.
Those are obviously going to lead towards ticket sales, hopefully, for gigs.
And streams, and album sales. That's also why we tour a little bit after the release, so people can get acquainted with the album, and if they like it, then we're looking forward to see them at the shows.
Hopefully, a whole bundle of, like myself, new fans.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it's always good. It's why I love music, because I love finding new music, even if it's not new to everybody else. If it's new to me, that's like a bonus.
I have to say, that you discover artists, and then you see they all have an entire back catalog already. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you've got like days and days of new listening.
Yeah,
It's brilliant. I quite love that. I get a bit obsessive though, and I kind of just stick to the same thing for about 4 or 5 days on the trot, and then slowly move on to hunting for the next thing.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be on the playlist for a couple more days yet, at least. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, at least a few of those streams will be down to me. So the rest of the tour, I mean, this tour, it looks quite short when I looked at the tour. Is that a deliberate thing to give yourselves more time to prepare?
Yes, it's for several reasons. One is that everybody's touring now, because after COVID, everybody's on the road. And besides that, I want to give the band the time to develop, and that's very important. So this is all just the starters, and next year is going to be full throttle. But of course, we're going to play really cool stuff this year already. We're also having an American tour in the making for September. We have really cool festivals, Wacken, Grass Pop. So and there's more.
Very much hoping to see you at Wacken. We may have to catch up face to face at Wacken. And
a beer.
We could, have a beer, and we can have a chat then. Because I should be working the press tent at Wacken, hopefully with a bit of luck. So it'll be
awesome, right?
Yeah. So to get Wacken again straight away. As well, that's fantastic. When did the invite come through for Wacken?
Through our agent. We actually have an English agent, Sharon. She's magnificent, big hero, and she gets them. I don't know that we are asked, and then we got Grass Pop as well, and
it's fantastic festival too.
It's a dream start. Yeah, absolutely.
And right now, like you said, with some of the old guard back, but does it feel like the beginning again? To you?
Very weird experience because it's both. It's a completely fresh new chapter, but it's also indeed very familiar because with Ronald, our guitar player, I didn't play for a decade, and some of the automatisms live were still there when we were playing. It's really bizarre, and I love it. Yeah.
It must be nice. It's got to be like meeting up with an old friend after a very, very long time.
Yes.
And just hitting it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I kind of envy that because that chemistry on stage after that amount of time must be it must be almost electric when you first hit that in the studio and then magic. On stage.
It's the magic, the real magic we have in this world. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and so as somebody fresh to you, when it comes to the writing process with you and your writing partner, do you have a set like methodology that you go through? Do you just sit in a room, bit of paper and a pen, some instruments, and or do you just have these ideas to start with and kind of bash them out?
All of those actually. We already write together for 20 years. I feel like an old guy. But the good thing is you're very confident in the team because you do it so long already, and it's so home, so to say. And how we do it, we both have some ideas. Can be a riff, can be a chorus, and we just expand on that together. And from one thing comes the next, and it's always a very exciting process. I always need time up front to write, and Gus, my writing partner, he always very much in the moment, go, and I always feel drained, like squeezed. But he has a lot of stamina, and that's a great combination.
So you have one person driving with the push, and you have the creative juices from the other person being extracted for want of a distraction. And how did you meet as writing partners? I mean, how does that work? Because to have that connection for 20 years and to have that ability to keep it fresh for 20 years.
Well, that goes back to my Within Temptation time. I started my musical career in Within Temptation, and we, as Within Temptation, supported his band, Orphanage. I don't think a lot of people will know the band. It was a great band, and we always kept in touch. And yeah, when I started Delain, I asked him if he wanted to help out, and Delain started as a project, and it kind of started there and never stopped.
Fair play. I'm going to make a little note of that and have a little deep dive later on and see if I can find some orphanage out there and have a little listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
Really
like a new
cool.
recommendation. So I shall have a little look. So what's next? Like you said, you got some big plans for next year.
Yes.
Do I get any hints, tips about what this is? Is there anything you can let me know about now, or?
Well, it's first of all, it's that UK Ireland tour we're working on, and we're gonna do, of course, the next festival season. I think also more US is going on. We're gonna have a big European tour with a lot more countries. Now we are only hitting 6 countries, I think, but then we're
Yeah.
gonna hit way more countries. And actually, we already start writing our new record this week. So I'm
Ooh,
already, yeah.
yeah.
So we're already working on that. But I have to say, I learned from the past in terms of not doing too much at the same time. So the pace is a bit slower to keep things healthy, and that's really important. Yeah.
And it probably takes the stress away a little bit as a band because
Yes,
it's effectively a family, and if you're on
it
top
is.
of each other all the time, it becomes very, very stressful. I can imagine, as any family does.
Yep,
Uh,
it is a family, and also you should never ever forget to have fun, because
yes.
that's in what it's all about. First of all, and if you don't have fun, how can you radiate fun to people coming to a show, for example?
Okay, that opens up another question for me. What do you guys do to have fun with backstage, or when you're not actually out there in front of the audience? What's the way that you guys have fun together? Because it's an interesting thing that you just brought up.
Oh, we are all very much into idiotic jokes, just pure idiocy. Can be anything. But yeah, can be watching a movie, can be checking out the surroundings, going into the city if you play somewhere. We're going out to have dinner. We do that also outside of tours and shows. So right now it's simply hard work,
Yeah.
prepping for the live shows and stuff. But no, the chemistry is really there. There's a lot of laughter
Who's
backstage
the
for
main
sure.
joker of the band now?
I think it's our guitar player Ronald and Sander, our drummer. Yeah, they have such weird pathways in their brains. I love it.
Perfect. Yeah, and that helps it. You always need that. And so you said obviously the UK, Wacken, etc. Your little tour this year. You've got the new record coming out. Um, you've been with Napalm now for a very long time as well.
Yes.
And so that must be something that a partnership that works well, and they must be treating you well.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
that
You
could,
almost never hear an artist say, my record label kicks ass. You never hear that. But I have to say, yeah, I'm really happy with Napalm.
so it's a good shout out to Napalm. Yeah. To be fair, they are favorited in my YouTube music playlist because there's quite a good stable of artists. So
Yes, they have a huge roster. Yeah, true.
and yeah, it seems to be doing you very well now as
Yes.
well. And like I said, the interview's not particularly long, but thank you very, very much for your time.
Oh,
Um,
it was a pleasure.
I hope we can. I hope we can have that beer back in the VIP area at Wacken when we're in the press tent.
I'm for
And
it. Let's do
uh,
it.
lovely chatting to you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Loving chatting to you too, and good luck with everything regarding the interview and the channel, etc.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So it's Shells and Moshville Times saying goodbye. And I wish you very, very, very best success with this album. And I hope to see you on tour soon.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.